Hello and welcome back to the Droid Slots Guide to Poker. In this video, we'll be running you through the various ranked hands in Texas Hold'em in ascending order, so you'll know just how well your game is going. One thing to keep in mind is that in Texas Hold'em poker, there is no hierarchy to the suits, so an ace of spades is equal in value to an ace of diamonds. High card. The high card is simply a single card with higher value cards beating those of lower value. If two players tie on a high card, then the additional cards in their hand are used as kickers. If they still tie, then the round is a draw, and the pot is split. Pair. A pair is two cards with the same numerical value. If two players have pairs, then it's whoever has the highest pair. If the pairs are matched, then the three kicker cards in their hand decide the round. Two pairs. A hand of two pairs consists of two cards of one value and another two cards of a different value. If two players enter the showdown with two pairs, then the higher pair is compared and the higher value pair wins. If the higher value pair is the same, then the lower pair is compared. Three of a kind. Three of a kind is where a player has three cards of the same value in their final hand. If two players have three of a kind, then the higher value set wins. If it is matched, then the kickers are used to determine the winner. Straight. A straight is where the player has 5 cards of sequential value. In comparing two straights, the highest card is compared. It is worth knowing that the ace can be used high or low in a straight, but that it cannot wrap around to create a straight of Queen, King, Ace, 2, 3, for example. Flush. A flush is where a player has 5 cards of the same suit. Two players with flushes are compared by the card values in their flush. The highest card wins. Full house. A full house is a player with three of a kind and a pair. In comparing two full houses, the three of a kind is compared first, with the higher value set winning. If the three of a kind is matched, then the higher value pair will win. Four of a kind. A four of a kind is when a player has 4 cards of the same value. If two players have 4 of a kind, then the higher value set wins. If the values are the same, then the 5th card's value is used as a kicker to decide the winner. Straight flush. A straight flush is 5 sequential cards that all share the same suit. In comparing two different straight flushes, the highest ranking card is used. Royal flush. A royal flush is simply an ace-high straight flush, and therefore the best straight flush possible, and an unbeatable hand. As always, thanks a lot for watching this guide. We hope this has helped you get your poker career off the ground. We will have plenty of other guides on our channel, and more are in the works, so feel free to go ahead and explore the channel, or head on over to our main site, Android Slots. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching!